everyone, it's Jack from Cultaholic, followed by
Masses. The wrestling masses. Follow us.
Alongside.
We are the beacons of light who provide you with the way to the future.
Alongside Andrew and Ross. We came in for a bit of flack, have you seen? On the old Twitter.
When?
So a tweet's gone up. It's got like 700 likes on it. Some bloke did a tweet. It's just a screenshot of the thumbnail from the last video of Gunter and Zack Ryder and Matt Cardona.
Yeah.
But we need to stop Brits from talking about wrestling. I'm like, oh!
What? It is funny watching Americans especially go, oh, these Brits on YouTube. Why do they all have to be British? Be more entertaining.
Oh my God. No, it's kicking off. So you're specifically having to go at me though, not you two, because that was my pitch. It was my pitch. I've responded, but I did it in a polite way, so I didn't want to sound like I was upset, but I was deeply.
You were deeply upset.
How did you respond?
I said,
excuse me, old pal.
I said, what are you on about? This would be sick, and also whoever came up with it must be so handsome. And then I did 2 kisses, to try and wind him up, but he hasn't replied, so probably.
That's Jeremy Wade's biggest fear, that when he casts the reel, doesn't get a fish on.
I didn't get a fish on.
Fish on.
That's a fish on.
Thank you very much for tuning back in, everybody. Sorry for that's the drama update out of the way.
Nice.
The beef update out of the way. Now we're back to talk about AEW Double or Nothing. So the card's not. I don't want to be too harsh about AEW, but I think it's the least excited I've been about an AEW card in quite some time for a big pay-per-view.
It feels like the most predictable AEW pay-per-view card for ages.
Is that why? Is it because it's predictable?
Formulaic. Is that just me?
No,
I agree.
Looking through it in my head now, I'm like, well, MJF's going to win, Cole's going to win. Will Ethan Page's contract be taking control?
That's the biggest issue in the world of wrestling.
No, I think you're right. Are you excited?
Nah.
Okay. All right. Okay.
So I was like, should I say no? This is we need to be excited about the wrestling.
We've seen AEW before not have ideal builds, but then still deliver, like Forbidden Door last year.
It's true. Yeah. So I think the matches are still going to be really good. It's just me at the moment. You know what I mean?
We'll have to wait and see.
It's just Ming at the moment. Did you say?
It's gonna be me.
At the moment, you know.
We're here to try and see what we can do to possibly deliver on an exciting show if we were in charge, because we're here with 9 lovely pitches. Ross, then Andrew, then myself. We'll go in sequence like that 3 times and we're left with 9 wonderful pitches. But remember, it's not what we think is going to happen.
It's what we want to happen.
Ross.
Now, in the past, we sometimes do flamboyant pitches that are fanciful and just aren't going to happen ever. But I'm changing the script today by just doing a no bollocks thing. I'm going Newcastle Brown Ale from the adverts over in America. Newcastle Brown Ale, no bollocks. That's the catchphrase they've got over there.
Is it actually?
Yeah, that's a real thing. So my first pitch is Wardlow retains. I'm terrified he's going to lose just because it's Wardlow on a title defense on a big show like this against someone like Christian, who is a bastard, and he's got Luchasaurus in his corner. Wardlow, if just in case you don't know, he's in the midst of his 3rd TNT title reign, and just like the other 2, even though this one is, as we're sat here on, what day is it the week? Wednesday, before Double or Nothing, it's 34 days old, and it feels like it hasn't really started, much like the one he had first of all, which is 136 days before he dropped it to Samoa Joe. That one didn't really get going, did it? And then he won at Revolution this year in March, and held it for 3 days before dropping it to Powerhouse Hobbs.
QTV.
Exactly, on the Dynamite after that Revolution pay-per-view in March. So yeah, AEW have really buggered up Wardlow's booking ever since, well, it was weird, wasn't it, with the MJF fight thing that overshadowed that big win, which was a bit of a shame, even though I think the story would have ended in that same way with him destroying MJF.
Yeah.
But it was overshadowed by stuff going on outside the ring. Other stuff have gone on, but they've really made a mess of like getting Wardlow to a certain point and then the sort of momentum stopping, if you want. So I'm just pitching that Wardlow gets a massive big win. Because I'm sick of seeing Wardlow get there, and instead of going to there, he goes, wee!
Yeah.
It was already off to a bad start immediately after that MJF win when his next feud was against the 20 lawyers.
Yeah.
That was weird.
It was.
That was the thing for the longest time, was they were like, well, I don't really know what to do. Let's just put 20 people we don't know into a ring with Wardlow so we can chuck them about.
Andrew.
Yeah.
You beat all of them.
Well, that's the
20 guys. It's like this is a computer game reference, like in Street Fighter, when you've just beaten Ken or whatever, and then you're beating up a car in the next level. I mean, why am I beating up a car?
That's true.
Although people seem to like the car.
The car thing is good.
Do people like the car thing? Right, it doesn't really work. No, I agree, Ross.
Yeah.
It's a yes from me. Although I will say that I don't think Christian would be like the worst choice for TNT champion because he's so entertaining and it would just make him even more egotistical and more of a dick. But the damage that will be done to Wardlow outweighs the benefit of Christian.
That was the
champion.
thing, because like Christian can still be a turtle-necked prick.
He doesn't need the belt
without the title. Yeah,
So it's
Wardlow
a big yes from me.
Yeah, if it comes, I shouldn't have stopped the sentence there. Yes, if it comes at the detriment of Christian,
What did you say,
of
like?
Wardlow,
I
I
didn't
just
catch
said,
what you said.
yeah,
Was
I
it-
just
was
said
it
yes
rude?
if it comes, and then I trailed off
That
onto
didn't
something
even
else.
your dirty-minded man.
So there we go. But yeah, if it comes at the detriment of Wardlow, as Jack was saying, I think Christian would be a great TNT champion, but we don't need that to happen right now. It's so weird because I feel like sort of for the longest time when we were getting the Wardlow turn and he was going against MJF, a lot of us were talking about Wardlow potentially even being like the next big thing within AEW. And
Well, that's what they'd set him up to be.
Yeah, exactly. It just doesn't feel like that at the moment, and it's such a shame because I mean it's come at the hands of the booking and other things outside the ring, as you were saying with the MJF
If
stuff.
this was real life, it would be absolutely criminal that Wardlow wouldn't have had a title shot yet, because the champion is a lad who he absolutely destroyed.
yeah.
So, yeah. It's a big yes. Two
Big
yeses,
yes.
Ross.
Big
Get
yes
in.
for me. Get in.
Up me percentage, Polly, if you're watching.
Someone's pointed out that Polly didn't take any Tom videos into account. Apparently, he's been on pictures.
Why he's not one of the big three, is he? In the pitches world. Let's be honest, everybody.
Right, in the
This is the
not
big
just
three here.
in the videos, but in the pitches world. If anyone else out there is doing any pitches, we're the big three.
Because I'm pretty sure. Wait, Fraser's probably done some as well, hasn't he? And Fraser
I'm
was-
sure there's
No, he would never be allowed.
There must have been.
Never, you would never be.
Imagine the arrogance that would come out on pitches videos with Fraser.
I don't even want to comprehend that.
Who's the Mount Rushmore of pitches? It's us three.
Yeah. Oh, well, Sam, obviously.
Oh, Sam, yeah.
After
Of course,
the
of
stats
course.
yesterday, the
Yeah.
other day, yeah. Just in case you missed it, there's Polly emailed our Cultaholic Wrestling podcast mailbag and put stats together from the previous 5 years of pitches videos up until about WrestleMania season this year. Yeah, it was good.
It was
It was
really
really
good.
good.
Really
A
good.
lot of research went into it.
I'm hoping that Polly sees it, because it was actually. They'll be looking out for it on a podcast. I'm like, no, it's on.
Oh,
the
no,
pitches.
I'll let Polly know.
Yeah.
Polly has seen it, and Polly
Good.
said that next WrestleMania she'll be back with a updated version.
Wow.
Which is, if we're still in business by then, a thing to look forward to.
Andrew.
Yes.
Second pitch, please.
Ross was talking obviously there about getting straight to the point. I like me bloody lavish ones, don't I?
Well,
I've rinsed
different
my
strokes
hair.
for different folks,
I've
you know.
shampooed my hair. I've conditioned it. I don't have any hair. Here we go. We're heading straight to the 21-man Blackjack Battle Royale for Orange Cassidy's AEW International Championship. So far, as we're recording this, I believe the confirmed participants for this are Orange Cassidy, obviously, QT Marshall, Aaron Solo, and Powerhouse Hobbs. QTV, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's massive. Yeah.
Immediately, the odds are stacked against Cassidy right out of the gate, as it's these four men who kick off the proceedings. And this is the narrative throughout the entire match. Much like that of many of his defenses with the international title, Cassidy is constantly on the back foot, but manages to surprise us by getting the upper hand on his opponents, right? Only, this time it feels like Cassidy, he can't catch a break. And this is a nerd one. You were talking about the video game reference before. I've said, much like that of Spider-Man having to face some of his deadliest foes at once with the Sinister Six, right?
Yeah, Sinister Six.
This match is full of Cassidy's past title defense opponents.
Who are it? It's a Green Goblin.
Green Goblin, yeah, that's who he's gone against before.
Craven.
Craven's in. Now, there's different iterations
Oh, I
of the
hate
Sinister Six.
superheroes.
No.
Why is there so many different bits? Mysterio.
Mysterio's in there, yes.
Is Craven in there or not?
Yeah,
Is Craven in there?
has been in there before. Okay.
Lizard Man.
Just the lizard.
Oh,
There
I'm
we
getting
go.
there. Is
We
he
were
in?
getting there. He's in. He's been part of it.
Venom.
Before. Venom may have been
The
part
Vulture?
of it. Vulture's been part of it.
The Sandman?
You're telling me Venom's not
I
part
know.
of
Well,
this?
Venom's
Because
kind of a
there's so many-
tweener.
Yeah.
Venom's kind of good.
He's a
thought
bit of
Venom
like
was the dark
an
side of the
anti-hero.
Spider-Man.
Well, he
He
means
can
well,
be.
but then the symbiote takes control of him.
He
and it
means
turns
well
him
now.
bad.
He means well. He's a good
It's
boy.
Spider-Man
now.
on a night out.
He's a good boy now. Yeah.
Where the alcohol takes the whole...
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
exactly
that's
it.
what Venom
bad
is.
things happen.
Right, sorry, I'll get back to the pitch now, right? So it's full of Cassidy's past title defense opponents. So you've got Roosh, The Butcher, Preston Vance, Buddy Matthews, Kip Sabian, even perhaps a returning Pac in this
Lizard
whole
Man.
thing.
Yeah,
The Lizard Man.
Pac sounds good.
And a surprise Will Ospreay maybe joining the fray. It's an intense, high-paced
How
match.
do you do that? United Empire hand symbol they do.
I don't know.
Will!
But
then there's more bits. Is it that? It's that. I've done it.
He's All right, Will, calm down. It's an intense, high-paced match with plenty of twists and turns. Cassidy can't even rely on his best friends as Trent tries to sneakily throw his busy mate over the top rope when his back is turned. Because he wants that title belt. And he's also challenged for it before as well. So I'm just saying. It's chaos and we bloody love it, I said. So Cassidy, spent, battered and bruised, manages to claw his way through the opposition. There's 2 remaining entrants yet to be revealed. And as Cassidy stands on one side of the ring, on the other side, we see Pac and Cassidy's former best friend in the Blackpool Combat Club, Wheeler Yuta. Now, I've booked myself a bit weird because as I was writing this, I was like, oh, he's also in a match later on in the night. But let's just say this.
Is he in the Anarchy in the Arena match?
Yes. Yeah. Let's just say this. This match takes place first. And the Anarchy in the Arena match takes place later.
And he just
therefore,
for both
they love
But the
punishment.
BCC would never.
They're a glutton for punishment.
They're a
though,
tactical
aren't they?
set of scoundrels.
No. They like wrestling. They like bloody wrestling.
There is no way that Danielson would allow one of his soldiers to tire themselves out before this Anarchy in the Arena match.
Yes, he would, because
Okay.
he wants them to go through the trials and tribulations. Anyway. So Wheeler Yuta and Pac have formed a brief alliance to take out this joke of a champion so they can have a real one-on-one conclusion in this bout, right? But before the 2 allied wrestlers proceed to team against the champion, out comes another former international champion and current Ring of Honor Pure champion. Wait, another former international champion challenger and current
Ring of Honor Pure Champion.
Katsuyori Shibata.
Yes.
Who aligns himself with Cassidy due to the animosity Yuta harbors towards Shibata for taking away his Pure title.
And Cassidy and Shibata are previously friends because he tried on the sunglasses that time. Yeah.
Exactly. There we go. The 4 men clash, and we see the heels in this scenario actually take control thanks to some underhanded tactics, knowing they can't go strike for strike with Shibata. And just as Pac calls out for Yuta to pick up the downed opponents with the intent of throwing them over the top rope, out comes the final Battle Royal entrant, a returning Konosuke Takeshita, because Takeshita was taken out by the BCC. So this rattles Yuta, especially with the attack that the BCC launched on Konosuke a few weeks ago, and distracts him long enough for Cassidy and Shibata to regain some momentum. They toss Pac and Yuta over the top rope onto the apron. Cassidy hits a running orange punch that connects with Pac and takes the Geordie boy out, leaving Yuta all on his own. As Takeshita enters the ring, Cassidy knows that Konosuke will be out for some kind of redemption, so he steps to the side to allow Takeshita the elimination. But Konosuke insists it should be the champion after everything Cassidy's been through in this match. Orange, he just shrugs it off and he runs towards the ropes looking to hit the orange punch that'll take out the former Ring of Honor Pure champion. But no. Yuta leans out of the way and hangs Cassidy up on the top rope. Shibata sees this and tries to reach for Wheeler, but the BCC member holds Cassidy in like a front face, like over the rope. He gets his legs up and he gets his legs wrapped around Shibata's neck as well.
Yeah.
Oh, it's all
Why
tactical.
are you delivering this directly
It's
to me?
tactical.
Okay,
I'm sorry. I'm
yeah,
looking at it. That's why I'm
No,
looking each way now, right? Suddenly, all 3 opponents are teetering on the ropes in a fight to avoid elimination. All whilst Konosuke looks on, he looks at the crowd, he sees his opportunity, and he shrugs before hoisting up Cassidy and Shibata. They all 3 of the people go over the top rope, effectively eliminating all of the opponents and becoming the new international champion.
Wait, which one's... Who?
Who becomes the champion?
Who's in the ring?
Konosuke.
Takeshita, right.
Takeshita, yeah.
I was confused. I thought they'd all eliminate themselves simultaneously.
No.
He's still
So
in the ring.
He's
Yeah,
eliminated all
got it.
3 of them,
Got it,
right?
yeah.
He's celebrating in the ring, and as Yuta retreats at the ramp, he gives Takeshita a little bit of a passing glance, and maybe things will go on over to the next pitch. Who knows?
Oh!
It's all interwoven, connected. That was a long-winded way to say that Konosuke wins the match.
So yes for me, I guess. I've got no issues with it. It was dramatic. I've realised you're really good because you pay attention to all this undercard stuff that's easy to just go,
Yeah. It's because I wasn't struggling to think of pitches. That's why. There you go.
I really like the pitch, Andrew, but I'm going to give it a no.
Whoa.
Just because in my mind, I've got a thing I want for the end of the international title reign of Orange Cassidy.
Yeah.
And it has to take place on international soil.
Oh,
In Wembley. In my humble opinion.
And that's because I've been called out before in the comments for for using that as a reason to say no to something. But apparently you can want more than one thing. But yours is so powerful that it makes every other option
I've got
rubbish.
the opponent in mind. I've got the match finish in mind. I want what I want.
Oh, but you're not letting us know until.
No, because we'll do a picture video for that. Yeah,
exactly. That's good. That's too good. That's good.
I mean, it's obvious, is it not?
Unfortunately, one of mine might just be that idea.
We can want the
my
same
third
thing.
one, but it might be today now that
That
I
won't
reveal
stop
it.
me in the all-out pictures
Oh,
video.
right,
I'll
okay.
be here first. That's why I sit over here.
Nice.
I'm going straight in with the main event. I assume it's going to be the main event. The title match, the 4 pillars match. I've said here, I have a worry about the main event, and it's about the way it's set up, because MJF's probably going to win, and absolutely should win, but I'm worried about where that leaves the other 3 pillars. Yes, only one of them is going to suffer the knock of being pinned or submitted by MJF, but I think this is a unique situation where even the 2 not involved in the finish will also be harmed. Why have I written that? That's because, check it. That's because, check it, MJF won't just win the match. You know that his promos for the next however many weeks are going to include lines about how he's the best of all the pillars, he's the only pillar, he's the whole foundation now, and all that sort of stuff. He's going to bury the other 3 pillars. He won't be able to help himself. So my solution is to nip that behavior in the bud straight away. MJF wins the match and celebrates in a daze because everyone's taken so much out of each other. They're all shattered. Everyone else is helped away from the ring. All 4 men have taken each other to the limit. But once again, that dastardly MJF has come out on top. He puts the belt around his waist and slowly starts to shake off the effects of the match, taunting the crowd. Maybe Jungle Boy's family are there with all their hair. Maybe Ty Conti was there to support Sammy. Maybe MJF even flips the bird high into the rafters where Darby's father, Sting, is watching on. But wait, as all this is going on, a car reverses down the ramp. Out gets a figure in a balaclava who steps into the ring and blindsides MJF with a crowbar straight to the back of the knee. MJF screams in pain but gets locked in a sleeper hold and choked unconscious. He's dragged into the boot, or the trunk, as Americans say, of the car, which gets slammed shut, and the masked figure drives away. The show ends with the AEW World Champion kidnapped and Tony Khan running out onto the Las Vegas Strip after them going, "No, wait, my belt, oh, no." And that's how the show ends. Tune in on Tony Schiavone's obviously like, "We'll have to on Dynamite."
That's a great point, Taz.
Yeah. So they to be continued. So pitch number 2 is going to... Yeah.
It's a yes from me because it's shades of NXT. It's PD.
That's an insult. It's a
It's
bad,
no,
it's
no,
a bad thing.
it's
a bad
not.
thing.
NXT, as we all know, is wrestling at its best. It's fantastic storytelling and pretty deadly. I've gone through a similar thing recently, and I think that's a fantastic way to end the show.
Thank
Who
you.
did it in the end then?
We'll find out in part 2.
Oh,
Yeah, we'll find out. We'll find out. So it's a yes from me because I'm on
you
the
as well.
edge of my seat at the moment,
Lovely.
wanting to know who was.
I was
who's
struggling
done
as well. So, but don't worry, because I've not just split 1 into 2. I've also included a different aspect of Double or Nothing in pitch 2, which then ties back into the first one. So
Nice.
I've not shortchanged any of the viewers here. Don't worry. Ross, your second pitch, please.
I'm going to FTR versus, and I've called them J&J Obscurity. With Mark Briscoe as the special guest referee. So basically, we're getting to the closing stages of the match. We're getting to the closing stage of the match. It looks like FTR are going to get a good and competitive win on this pay-per-view, as they should do.
Yeah.
Jeff Jarrett has a couple of near falls, and that's as close as J&J Obscurity. Of course, the massive upset. But then we see the big old shatter machine nailed by FTR, and Mark Briscoe goes down for the count. It's
Oh,
a
he's
1,
the ref, isn't he?
it's a 2, and he stops.
No!
What? What the hell? What the hell are you doing, Mark? Screams Excalibur, who cannot believe what he has just witnessed. Following this, Mark pulls a hip flask of white lightning, or whatever the bollocks that moonshine stuff is called, out of his pocket, and he goes, "Hooah!" right in the eyes of FTR
No.
Bold. FTR Bold stumbles back, and he's only fallen straight into a stroke. The Jeff Jarrett kind, not a shoot stroke. I could have written that better, sorry. A Jeff Jarrett stroke. It's the stroke!
No.
Jeff Jarrett, who is the legal man, goes down for the count and Mark does it pretty quickly. 1, 2, 3. J&J Obscurity win. Jeff Jarrett is a champion in AEW in 2023. The world melts. All that goodwill that's been coming back to FTR since FTR Bold stopped doing his propaganda podcast will make this one hell of a moment. Oh, I like CM Punk. Oh, bring CM Punk back. Shove it up your ass, FTR Bold.
Come on.
And then we can either set off on the journey of FTR, getting the titles back, which is a compelling story enough, or have a new up-and-coming babyface tag team go after J&J, who would get a few wins, but eventually lose, because That'll be good. That
Wow.
Jeff Jarrett can create a feeling like unlike anyone else in AEW. That feeling of dread when he's about to win a match, and just to see him win on a premium, a pay-per-view,
Premium live.
and then he said the bad words there. In this year of all years, would be fantastic in my opinion.
Oh man.
I'm going to give you a yes.
What?
He's a sick man.
I'm a
isn't he?
sick man, and I'm going to tell you why as well. I'm enjoying the little bits that they've been doing on the farm. I think they've been really entertaining, genuinely very, very entertaining. And why? I also feel like it's going to go that way. I feel like something's going to happen, and I think that the bad boys are going to pick up the win.
Guys.
Is that a huge scope from your predictions?
That's a
is it?
huge. Well, I'm not doing the predictions. It's Team AEW that are doing
it's
the
the other
predictions.
lads, isn't it?
Who you'll
Well, they
find
don't
out
know yet,
about.
yeah,
They don't know
yeah.
yet.
It's,
They don't
could be
know
me
yet.
and Jack, yeah.
Yeah. It could be. You see, keeping them intrigued. I can.
I shouldn't have laughed when you said that.
I think that something like this is very much going to happen. A swerve to end all swerves.
I think the swerve's going to be, AEW enjoy a swerve that we never really bought anyway. So like, I think the swerve will be, no, they've convinced Mark Briscoe to, he's a good guy, really.
Oh,
And it's gonna
I
be
should
the-
say my pitch stems from the shoot blinding that FTR Bald went through. And
Yeah,
he hit
yeah.
the power driver on Mark.
the shoot blind.
He got moonshine through in his eyes. Is it white lightning, whatever it's called?
It's
Whatever it
probably
is, it's good.
moonshine, isn't it? Because they're on the ranch.
Potent.
Yeah. I am
Chicken
on
vodka.
my big walk. I did a shot of moonshine.
Did you?
Who did you get that from?
I don't know if I should
Imagine
name the
walk-
establishment.
Oh no.
Imagine walking in a field and you see a man.
It was in a place called Hayden Bridge in the Tyne Valley, and the woman behind the bar. I was staying above the pub, and I went, I'll have one more drink, but I'm gonna go to bed soon. And she went, if you want something to knock you out, have a shot of this moonshine.
Wow.
Did she give you a percentage?
I asked what the percentage was, and she went, this is home brewed. I was like,
Illegal.
oh Christ,
dear God.
and it burned my throat.
I thought you were going to say you were just walking through a field, and when like
have some
and like you get a bathtub in a field. That's where like they go and drink,
Brewing the moonshine.
Yeah, like the cows and the horses go to drink and stuff. There you go.
Oh, a
So
trough.
just- yeah.
Oh.
Well, sometimes it's just a bath. Have you never seen it in a field before?
I'm from a metropolitan area.
So like
You're
back
thinking
home.
of Father Ted when they're getting punished. That's
No,
what
I
it is.
swear down, like-
you're a village boy, aren't you?
Yeah. When I used to go with my dad to the
Apple
farm,
scrumping.
sometimes, we used to go apple scrumping
you
all the
actually?
time. No.
Oh.
I think maybe one time we did that.
Okay, yeah.
But no, so you get bathtubs sometimes in like in the fields.
That's what they use to
yeah.
dispose of backpackers and also feed
Yeah,
them.
absolutely. Yeah.
Because there was part of that walk where I felt vulnerable. And I thought, if something
Really?
happens to me out here, no one will ever find me. Yeah. Where we? Oh, it's a no from me, unfortunately,
Damn it.
because I just don't want to see FTR lose those belts yet. I think,
It'd be funny.
It is
though,
quite
It
soon
would
for
be
them
funny.
to lose the belts.
but I'd rather see them have another title reign with good matches and that. And I also find Mark Briscoe a really natural babyface. He's just quite funny, but also he's got heart. And yeah, I understand though that if it does happen, it'll be really hilarious. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't have to turn heel though, Mark, does he? It's just a one-off occurrence. Getting his own back.
Yeah.
It was the moonshine.
Well, he
talking,
deserved
you know?
it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's you. Sorry, I was
It's
about to
me. Yeah, no, it's all right. Thank you. So this is a bit of a continuation from my first pitch. So we're going towards the Anarchy in the Arena match between the Blackpool Combat Club and the Elite. So yeah, I mentioned there that as I was writing this one, I realised that I put Yuta as a featured part of that battle royale. But here we go. There's times happened and recoveries and that. Yes, good. So, as we're most likely expecting, it's bloody, it's brutal. There's lots of barbed wire mops, barbed wire kettles and toasters, barbed wire horses, you name it. This match has everything wrapped in barbed wire. Yuta and Claudio eventually split off and brawl with the Young Bucks into the backstage area as Moxley and Danielson tackle the reunited Kenny and Hangman in the ring. Now, there's a few moments where Page and Omega are trying to find their footing again. It's been a while since they've danced this dance together as a team. And this causes them to slip up every now and then, allowing for Moxley and Bryan to gain the advantage. As we see the heels take control, the camera and Titantron cut backstage to keep up with the chaos ensuing between the other members of each team. However, instead of seeing these four fellas clobbering one another, we see, it's that age-old trope. We see a set of doors that have been chained shut, and Claudio's on the outside. He's furiously trying to get in, right? So from what we assume, he's got to help his stablemate because Yuta's in there, but the Young Bucks, what's going on there? Who's done this? Who's chained the door in the first place?
Right.
What is going on?
Is there a ref in there? Do falls count anywhere?
I
don't know.
thought, because wasn't it in the last one that they pinned them
gotta
in
be
the
in the
ring?
ring. Okay, right.
I felt
Oh,
like,
yeah, fair
maybe, I don't know. There you go. But I'm saying it's going to happen in the ring. So after failing to penetrate, careful now, the doors, the Swiss Superman cuts his losses and instead decides to head back to the ring to join Jon Moxley and Bryan Danielson. After all, it's still a 3-on-2 advantage for the Blackpool Combat Club. So knowing that the numbers are against them at this point, Omega and Hangman know they must bring the magic they once had, and that's exactly what they do. It's like a Matrix film with the 3 BCC members surrounding Paige and Kenny like the dastardly Agent Smiths of the story. The baby faces tap into the chemistry that we've missed so much. Paige is launching off Kenny's back to hit buckshot lariats. It's crazy. The crowd's going mental to see this finally happen again. And then, with Castagnoli thrown to the outside, Kenny and Hangman get ready to hit I'm thinking like a V-trigger buckshot combo wombo. V-trigger to the back, buckshot to the front. On both Moxley and Danielson to take them out for the count. When all of a sudden they're getting ready to do that move. Hurtling from atop the entranceway and down the ramp come the lifeless bodies of Matt and Nick Jackson. They're covered
What's
in
happened?
blood.
They were
What's
locked.
happened?
They were separated by a locked door.
They were separated by a... I'm glad you brought that up, Jack.
All right.
Thank you
It's
very
all right.
much for bringing it up. This catches the attention of Hangman and Kenny. They're friends in a horrific state as Wheeler Yuta slowly struts back into the arena.
Yeah, he's a key
Smirk
part
on
of the
his
night, isn't
face.
he?
Oh my God, he's the player in all of this. He's got a smirk on his face and the Buck's blood smeared across his chest. But Yuta isn't the only one walking down towards the ring. Oh no! As not far behind Yuta, brandishing that patented BCC screwdriver, is the newly crowned international champion and member of the Blackpool Combat Club,
How have they got him?
Konosuke Takeshita.
How have they got
I
him?
know how they've got
they
him.
got him.
I know how they've got him.
Tell us, Andy.
Kenny can't believe what's unfolding before his eyes, but with
no.
a baby face.
I don't know how they've got him. I was going to say Don Callis, but no, he's
on his own, yeah.
He turned on.
Cast adrift.
He's cast a drip. Well, we can speculate after.
All right. Sorry.
Kenny can't believe what's unfolding before his eyes, but with the baby faces distracted, this gives Claudio enough time to sweep Hangman from his buckshot placement to the outside. Moxley signals for Claudio to get something out from under the ring. It's a bloody chain, everybody. My goodness. Yep. Moxley wants to mirror what Hangman did to him at the end of their Texas death match at Revolution, where he just hung him against the ropes and hoisted him up. Do you remember?
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
Moxley tapped out. Ooh, it was a scene.
It was.
Danielson also manages to tie Omega's arms up in the rope too, and as the cleaner can do nothing but watch on as his friend gets choked out whilst Takeshita draws ever closer with the screwdriver. Danielson embraces Takeshita when he finally makes his way to the ring, steps aside and calls for Konosuke to complete his first test, viciously attacking Kenny with the weapon as the match concludes. So Takeshita's there stabbing Kenny's head with a screwdriver. Moxley's there hanging Hangman over the rope.
That's
It's a
bad.
visual.
Yeah.
Konosuke Takeshita, we saw before he got attacked, he was like, no, don't use the screwdriver on Moxley, Kenny Omega, don't do that. That would be mean of you to do that. Something was happening there. Something was happening, and it's leading me to believe that Konosuke Takeshita will turn to the Blackpool Combat Club.
Right. Well, that's interesting. And halfway through your pitch, I was like, this is going to be a no from me.
Yeah.
It was when it seemed like the Elite were going to win. Because I don't know how the general AEW fan base feel, but I know me and Ross struggle to get on board with the Elite as heroes. I like Hangman. He's my hero.
He's my hero.
But there is crap friends, and I don't care that he's back with them going, we are the Elite. I'm like, they were nasty to you.
They were nasty to him.
But part of why maybe this card hasn't excited me so much is because I'd be surprised if the BCC don't get comprehensively beaten by the Elite.
Yeah.
They all go, we're the Elite.
Well, I think the BCC will win because
Oh.
I think they'll tie it to
bloody and gutty, won't
bloody
they?
and gutty, yeah.
Aye.
I think they'll tie it over and then they'll add someone to their team.
Okay,
And
right.
then that's when the Elite will be heroes.
Right.
Yes. Because they'll bring Ibushi back.
Oh. But the ending there was darker than I expected.
Oh, yeah.
and more
It's
grisly.
got to be, you know what I
And
mean?
for that reason, it's a yes.
Thank you.
It's a yes from me as well, Andy. But the burning question is, what does this mean for Don? because Don's been chaperoning Konosuke for a little while. Don has now left the Elite, left
But
Kenny
this is
Omega.
the thing. Don didn't actually tell us why he turned on Kenny Omega the other week.
No,
he
no,
didn't
but
get
he's
a
still
chance
pals
to,
with
did
he's
he?
still pals with Takeshita though.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So maybe this is like all part of.
No way, he stabbed him with a screwdriver, mate.
Screwdriver?
No way.
New way, mate.
So you saying there's a possibility that Callis could join the BCC in a regal role? Or no? Or yes?
Well,
Oh, wait.
sort of.
Oh, yeah, sorry, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Oh, right.
That would be a super duper yes from me.
No. There you go.
Sorry, in my head there, I was like
you
thinking,
okay?
in my head for some reason, I was thinking that Omega was part of the BCC. And that
God,
I'd be like,
imagine.
now Takeshita and Kenny are on the same side. That doesn't work.
No,
But obviously
no,
they're
no.
not. They're on opposite
Yeah,
sides.
yeah.
And then it's an even bigger yes from me. as
Thank
well.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So my last one ended with the end of Double or Nothing and MJF getting kidnapped.
Mm-hmm.
But we're going to go earlier in the night back to Adam Cole versus Chris Jericho in the Unsanctioned match. Cole almost has the match won, but by the way, this is the most Andrew pitch I've ever written.
Oh, I'm excited.
I wrote some promos in this. Cole almost has the match won, but the JAS run out to help because it's unsanctioned. There's no rules. Roddy Strong tries to help turn the tide, but there's too many of them until a conflicted Kyle O'Reilly thinks, and he runs out to help Adam Cole as well.
back.
He's back.
Oh yeah, he's
Yeah,
got.
He's been missing.
Don't
It's
worry.
a surprise.
Don't worry, because it doesn't really factor into the rest. I just needed a bit of drama in the match itself. Kyle doesn't feature in the rest of the pitch, so
Bobby Fish comes out instead.
throwing real kicks like real men do. They fight the JAS off, and it's down to Cole versus Jericho once again. But as Cole goes to finish him off, in all this commotion, Jericho's sneakily got the baseball bat in hand. Bang! 1, 2, but Cole's foot is draped limply over the bottom rope. He hangs on. Jericho goes crazy. He can't believe it. The match continues, and eventually Cole wins, looking very strong and heroic and cool in the process. Because Cole's been built up as everyone assumes he's going to be the one to take it off MJF. But I don't know if actually...
Really?
Yeah.
Is
Apparently they cut a promo from a recent, was it Rampage or Dynamite?
yeah that they.
It was when MJF slapped the mic out of Renee's hand.
All right.
That was apparently meant to be originally a promo featuring all four members of all four pillars, and then Britt Baker was going to go, someone else you're all forgetting, baby. And people went, that makes it too clear that Cole's going to be the next challenger. But he might also be the next one to take it off MJF.
Oh, I do.
Oh, but
love Adam Cole.
they've really been focusing on him as he's the face of that new reality show. His comeback was treated like it was the biggest deal in the world when they were like, this is the show and Adam Cole's going to come back.
I think CM Punk will be the next one to take
You
off.
think?
I think it will be
Really?
as well.
Potentially.
Oh, I think
yeah.
CM Punk will win the AEW Collision Championship. But maybe not then. Maybe I'm reading too much into it.
No,
However,
but what makes sense, Cole being
yeah.
there, yeah.
well, in this match anyway, Cole looks really strong. He's just beaten Jericho. He's survived the baseball bat and all that. On Dynamite, Adam Cole comes to the ring and he should be in a celebratory mood, but he's not. He gets on the mic. Who's ready for story time with Adam Cole, baby? Andrew,
I am.
And I've written Andrew Hodkinson is beside himself because he loves himself some
I
Adam
do
Cole.
love
yeah.
myself some Adam Cole.
The story this week is that Tony Khan agreed to meet with him to discuss something very important at tonight's show. But guess what? Tony Khan's been avoiding me all night, Adam Cole says. So Cole's come out here and he wants Tony out here right now. Here comes Tony Khan. He looks nervous and shaky. It's a normal night as far as we can tell. But he gets in the ring and Cole says, Tony, you promised me and Jericho that whoever won our match would be next in line for the AEW World Championship. But since I won that match, you've been avoiding me ever since. He hands Tony the mic waiting for an answer. And Tony says, look, I know what I promised, but I don't know if you've noticed, we don't have an AEW World Champion right now. He's missing. Because he got kidnapped at the game.
Yeah.
Just then, the Tron flickers into life, and we see MJF tied to a chair with tape over his mouth, and the balaclavaed man is with him. He removes the balaclava to reveal it's Eddie Kingston. He looks wild-eyed and desperate.
I thought you were going to say Dijak with that setup.
Eddie says, Tony Khan making shady deals with people behind the rest of the locker room's back and then going back on those promises. Some things never change, do they? Sorry, Adam Cole, nothing personal. This isn't anything to do with you, but I have some demands of my own for Tony Khan. And I don't want more money. I don't want a new contract. I don't even want to take half the roster and set up my own brand on TNT. I just want the title shot that I've been overlooked for time and time again. Because never mind, I looked at when Eddie Kingston's last title shot was. It was when Moxley was the champion. It was like,
Wow.
yeah.
That was a while ago.
Lockdown thing.
I think so, yeah. I think he beat him with a bulldog choke, maybe. Maybe with
remember
barbed
that.
wire.
Yeah.
I vaguely remember
It was a long time ago anyway. For someone as popular as Eddie Kingston, I find that quite mad. He carries on because never mind the fact that I'm the one these fans relate to more than anybody, and never mind the fact that I stay away from all the politics and tell it like it is, and never mind the fact that I'm the only real thing about this horrible, treacherous industry. I'm not even a thought in the back of Tony's mind. I'm shipped off to Ring of Honor. Well, now I'm back. And Tony, if you ever want to see this title again, because he's got MJF there with him, I want a shot at it. In the ring, Tony is crestfallen. He looks a bit like he did at the All Out press conference when CM Punk was being nasty. He sadly agrees to Eddie's demands, and Cole in the ring is horrified. He points at Tony, and even though he's not on the mic anymore, we clearly hear him saying, "You lied to me, Tony, you lied." Meanwhile, on the Tron, Eddie goes behind the camera that's like set up and tilts it up slightly before we hear him get in a car and drive off. And with the camera now pointing up a bit, we see that MJF is sat under a road sign in the Nevada desert because it was in Las Vegas. He's driven him out into the desert. Apparently, it's called the Mojave Desert, actually.
Oh, Mojave.
Mahalo.
It gives away his location, like the road sign says, route, whatever. And Tony frantically is like telling his road agents, "I'll get people out there, recover MJF and the belt, obviously." And they all head to the back. Cole is left alone in the ring, angry and crestfallen. And this sets up Kingston versus MJF, because I think, like a long time now, I've thought that Kingston should be the one to beat MJF, and that just looks like it's less and less likely as the months go on and Eddie gets further away from like seemingly Tony's booking plans, and I think that's really sad.
Yeah.
And that Tony should kind of swallow his pride and get Eddie Kingston back in. But I'm a very big fan of Eddie Kingston, so I'm biased. But this sets up Eddie versus MJF, and then if Eddie were to beat MJF and become the new champion, a vengeful Adam Cole comes back as a heel maybe, because he's had the promise gone back on. And I just think Adam Cole works way better when he's a heel.
Mm.
I like him as this cool babyface and everything, but he's nothing on heel Adam Cole.
No. It's weird. I find it weird because he seems like the nicest guy as it is anyway when he's not not
In
doing
real
the
life,
wrestling
he seems
stuff.
like the nicest man. Yeah,
genuinely. But like, I'm not saying I don't buy him as a babyface, but it's because I think he is so good as a heel. Like it feels weird, doesn't it?
Yeah, he's so charming, isn't he?
He is such a charming
he's a
boy.
normal man.
It gets a yes from me.
Oh.
I thought it was beautifully
Maybe by the
pitched.
time Cole finally comes back as a heel, then he can have Kyle with him.
Yeah.
He can have the boys
That would be good.
back together.
Yeah.
I never know how they do that without having to like physically twist.
Lots
their
of people can
fingers
do
and
that just
I
without
can't
having
do it.
to. But yeah,
He's got it.
or they can't be called that, can they?
No,
The
not
Boom-
the
the
undisputed
Boom
elite.
Squad.
The Boom Squad.
The Boom Squad.
Boomtown.
The Boom
Rats.
Town.
The Boomtown
I
Rats.
was trying to think of a rhyme for
They
rats.
don't like Mondays.
Boomtown Graps. Joel, we have found our thumbnail pitch. MJF in the chair, Eddie Kingston looking evil. Please do that to appease the Americans who hate the honest, hardworking
Brits need to
British.
stop booking wrestlers.
So there's the thumbnail pitch. It's a big yes. You're a partner
Oh,
away
thank
from
you.
It
being
was great.
perfect.
Oh, wow.
In the promo.
High praise.
Partner. He loves a partner. Hey, Tony, partner.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
I thought when you did the camera thing and you tilted it up and it showed where
Yeah, it
I think
was,
it was.
yeah.
I immediately thought about. Have you seen The Dark Knight before, where Batman's got to choose
Yes, I have,
who he
years
goes
ago.
to like go and
Oh,
get?
there's a bus that's
And
going to
I'm
blow up or
thinking,
something.
like,
yeah.
You've got TNT all around it, and they've got to go and get him
MJF's in
before-
one bit, but the belt's over here, and Tony has to choose. He'd choose the belt. No one would choose MJF. Ross, your third pitch, please.
So we find ourselves now in the midst of the Blackjack Battle Royale, and I don't know how the entrances are going to work for this one, but mysteriously, as we're waiting for the next entrant, I'm going to assume they're going to come out one by one. We hear a little bit of Sam Smith on the speakers inside the arena. Mummy don't know. Powers getting hot at the body shop doing something unholy. Powerhouse Hobbs has had the car that Wardlow destroyed down at the garage, getting all kinds of dizzy rascal. He's been fixing it up, and it's looking sharp, everybody. Now, at this time, I'm pitching that every single member of QTV are in the ring, even the random people who pop up on the segments that aren't even named.
the Australian lady.
Brown head. No, that's her.
She has been named.
I'm going to say Harvey.
Harvey
Dent,
Barnes.
Harvey Quinn.
Harvey Quinn.
Got
It's
there in the
too
end.
similar to the character Harley Quinn.
It
isn't
is very
Yeah.
similar.
It might actually be.
It might actually be yeah.
Harley, whatever she's called. Not in the ring, but the random brown-haired man who's going, that's
Yeah.
funny. They're all in
That's
the ring.
QT Marshall. He's the leader of QT.
They're all in the ring. Everything to do with QTV, their television, their polo shirts, the hard drives cluttered with dark content.
Oh.
Everything associated with QTV is in the ring alongside high-flying and nimble men who can dodge out of the way of stuff flying at them very quickly. Indeed, that's a crucial point as well, because it's not going to just be QTV, it's going to be other wrestlers as well. We also want an elevated ramp for this pitch. So you know how AEW sometimes, most, I don't think they call it premium live events again. What's wrong with this? Pay-per-views have the ramp that goes down, then flat. Not the one that goes straight.
Which
goes
one's
down.
this one? This is the down one.
Yeah, this is a down one.
Okay,
we
right,
need.
yeah.
Right, so we need that one. So the elevated ramp starts going beep, lifting up like a garage door, along with Sam Smithness on the speakers. And we hear an engine revving, brum brum, and then wah-tish, a clearly sick yet unidentified motor is slipped into first gear, and then bop, a massive car comes flying up the elevated ramp, does a sick jump, much like David Arquette and Ready to Rumble, from the ramp into the ring, and it wipes out all of QTV in one fell swoop.
What?
The likes of Action Andretti and Ray Phoenix, who were also in the ring doing the wrestling at the time, are able to get out of the way.
This is during the Battle Royal. Yeah.
They're able to get out of the way because they, as I said earlier, they're very quick, they're very nimble, they can dodge, dive, dip, dive, and dodge very quickly out of the way of stuff. Following this attempted vehicular homicide, Powerhouse Hobbs goes on to win the match and becomes the new international champion. Quite frankly, a few of the lads in the match say, if you want it that much, pal, you can have it.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, we never hear from QTV again.
Oh, well, then it's a yes from me.
But, yeah.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
I don't mind QT being a crucial figure in AEW in terms of the training. He's obviously an agent or whatever backstage. He's an important man.
Clearly, yeah, but taking television time for this self-wankatory bollocks. Oh, we find this funny backstage. Let's put it on TV for the entire world, taking away promo time from more captivating characters who would rather see. That's where it needs to end.
Tony needs a trusted advisor who has the best intentions of the show at heart.
Cody Rhodes.
He would have been ideally the person who has entertainment first and foremost in his mind. But I feel like Tony gets pulled to and fro by too many people backstage, and if he thinks someone's cool, then he's more likely to put them on the just.
So let's have Powerhouse Hobbs, or equally, if you don't want to have the car bit involved, just have him power bomb them lot.
No.
car,
We have
the
the
car.
car. We have the car.
In my mind, the car's like the mods that he's put on the car has his own face as the front of the bonnet.
Yeah,
Oh.
like that thing from Casper the Friendly Ghost movie, the train.
I don't know if you've seen Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift.
No.
Oh, well, Lil Bow Wow was one of the characters in Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift, and his car is like the Incredible Hulk.
Ah.
I don't know, yeah.
Wait, what does it look like? The Hulk?
It's green with like the Hulk's face on the front, and there's two like fists coming out of it.
No, there's not.
It gets laughed at. It's not a serious car in the Fast and Furious world. The car, there's like a...
I say no, there's not. Now they're going into space and that, aren't they? I don't know why.
There's a big
the Hulk car
there's a
is-
rotating garage somewhere in Tokyo, and the cars, you press your button and the car...
A vending machine.
Like
Yeah.
your car's stored in
Right.
the bowels of the garage, and then it rotates to your car. And Lil Bow Wow's there showing the main character, he's like, here's my ride, and he presses the button and his car comes out. Like one like really good car comes past and they're like, this one? No, just you wait.
no.
Then the Hulk car comes and he's like, yeah. And the main character's like, oh, hell no. It's a great film. It's a yes from me.
and a yes from me as well. It's a big yes from me.
Oh, maybe the Mac could be like the AEW video game with the blood.
Yeah,
I like that, how much blood there is when you...
there is a lot of blood.
We talked about that on news today.
Yeah, up the more, not
the blood.
realistic video games. It's a video game for
It's
them.
a video game. Yeah,
yeah.
of course.
It's a fantasy world. A secondary realm. I don't know what-
No, it is. Yes. Andrew.
Yes. So going from the darker tone of the last one, there is a bit of a happier one now, and it's a basic one as well. So, I believe we've heard that the opening ceremony of the Owen Hart Tournament Cup is supposed to be happening at Double or Nothing.
Really?
I think so. If I'm
The
correct,
opening ceremony?
I might be wrong. Yeah, the opening ceremony.
I hope
be-
there's
it can be-
hundreds of people, like an Olympic opening ceremony.
yeah.
Azerbaijan.
And thinking about this, I wasn't too sure if that meant we'd see matches, but I believe there's already 8-9 matches on the card
It's
so
not
far.
the fullest card we've ever seen.
Yeah. So I was just thinking maybe we just do the brackets and we'll have a little bit of speculatory fantasy booking, this, that, and the other. So for the opening ceremony, we see last year's winners, Adam Cole and Britt Baker, make their way to the ring to announce who will be in both men's and women's brackets this year. However, this year, not only do the winners get to obtain the Owen Championship and honor the legacy of such a phenomenal wrestler, this year there's stakes as well, because the winners also get a title shot of their choosing too. So we'll go to the men's qualifying bracket first. I was thinking, right, Jay White,
Okay.
Powerhouse Hobbs,
Yeah.
Bandido, Action Andretti, Swerve Strickland, Keith Lee, Ricky Starks, and then the Joker, who was the standout for me last year, and a returning person this would be as well, Kyle O'Reilly, the Canadian man.
They're all good. That's a good bracket. There's about
Canadian man.
There's about how many was there in total there?
So,
Hey.
because I went from like the brackets of the qualifiers, because
right.
prior to that, there's still quite a few more. So we've got Jay White, Powerhouse Hobbs, Bandido, Action Andretti, Swerve, Keith, Ricky, and Kyle.
I think about 6 of those 8 I'd want to win. Actually, maybe there's a lot of
Which is
potential
good,
winners there.
because I can't remember if last time it felt a little bit. We sort of know how
Dax is gonna
it was
win.
gonna.
Yeah,
of course. We knew how it was gonna play out. I felt like so maybe throwing a few there. I think it'd be beneficial for all of them. And I've put Kyle O'Reilly as the winner too.
Yeah, I thought he should have won last one.
I thought because
everyone was like, "Oh, Dax should win," but he likes Brett.
Yeah.
Kyle's Canadian.
Yep.
You know, he had. Yeah, I thought Kyle should have won.
So I thought he should have won because I bloody well like him.
I
a
even
lot.
convinced myself that Joe was going to beat Cole in the final just because he's bigger. I was like, wait, bigger than him?
Yeah.
He's going to win. Yeah.
I thought
Out
that
of
as
that
well.
pool, I want Swerve to win and go on
That would be good as well.
an
though.
Owen Hart tangent like King of the Ring, but like a bit cooler, not as nerdy.
He could really pull that off.
Yeah.
And then there's a few little bits in there as well, sort of feuds wides with Jay White and Ricky Starks, and then obviously Keith Lee and Swerve as well. There's bits and pieces for everyone to talk about.
That's a good bracket.
Thank you. So we went to the women's qualifier bracket now. I found this one a little bit harder to sort of think about. I've put some of just who I would like to see back in this as well, personally. So women's qualifier bracket, we've got Toni Storm.
But this is the qualifier bracket.
So as it was with the last one. So in terms of like
who's going to make it?
who's going to make it? Yeah. So Toni Storm, Serena Deeb, because fantastic wrestler. Ruby Soho, Sky Blue, Julia Hart. I'd like to see Julia Hart get a bit of a showcase in this thing. I've gone for Yuka Sakazaki as well.
Yeah.
It's always going to be a big yes on
Of
this.
course,
On this, I was going to say podcast on this channel.
We'll go for Abaddon as well. And then I've done the Joker, Chris Statlander as well. Comes back as well, a returning one. And I said that she wins it too. I know that's 2 Joker wins there.
No,
but
it's cool. It's fine.
I'd quite
it's
like to see.
Are there Jokers
those.
in the Adam Cole tournament?
I
In
think
the
there
Owen Hart
was.
tournament?
I think there was last time.
Okay.
So yeah, going for Chris Statlander in this.
30 yes from me.
Thank you.
Oh yes.
Oh yes.
Oh yes. Did that finish at Forbidden Door last year then?
Yeah, no, because Forbidden Door, no, because Adam Cole won the.
Oh, he's in the 4-way, wasn't he?
Wasn't it? I think Double or Nothing last year was the
it?
finals. Yes.
Okay.
I believe so. I might be wrong. I'm pretty
I
sure
remember
it
it
was.
was a show with loads of other stuff on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. My final pitch is the Blackjack Battle Royal. Orange Cassidy's Battle Royal thing, blah, blah, blah. I've said the winner is ultimately Pac. He is back. Here he is. Here I am. He says, I'm back and I am now the international champion. He wins the international title. Last eliminating, I've really put this, given the previous pitches we've now heard, last eliminating, I don't know, someone impressive, Hobbs or someone. So Hobbs has flown in the ring on his car.
Of course.
Murdered the QTV stable, and then Pac's gone, out you go, Pac. I am the international champion. He's Matthew now as well for some reason. He takes the belt all around. He defends it back in Dragon Gate because he was a former Dragon Gate champion. He defends it at Forbidden Door against, I couldn't think, so I just picked like a New Japan Cruiserweight Junior Heavyweight. I went for Hiromu Takahashi because I think the wacky Takahashi and the serious Pac. It's a match made in heaven.
I don't like cats.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's his promo before. I don't think he still does the cat thing. Maybe he should. You should bring that back. I don't know. I've not been following it that closely recently, but if he doesn't, he should bring it back for this feud. Yeah.
Honey badgers, me pal.
He defends it at the big North show at the Walker Dome. North Wrestling have a big show at the Walker Dome because he is from Newcastle. And he would just get a huge reception, wouldn't he? Everyone would be
absolutely.
like,
I smoked Takia back in 2002,
Yeah.
and now I'm back to wrestle.
I've learned that Ryan, one of our editors, is from Walker.
Is there?
He has to be the most handsome man ever to
The
come on.
most
No offense to
handsome man
anyone.
ever.
No offense
Ryan
to
Luke
anyone.
in the other room there.
No offense to anyone from Walker, but I couldn't believe it when I heard he was from there.
I'd have had him down for a Jesmond or a Gosford.
Yeah. So scrubbed, so clean. No offense to anyone. Oh no, what have I done?
Uh-oh.
Oh, they're gonna come for me. After all that, Pac finally heads to All In at Wembley, and he defends it against Will Ospreay. North versus South.
The North wins.
I've put Pac wins. Well, hey. I've checked, and they've only had one singles match before, according to Cage Match, and it was a 30-minute draw at Rev Pro in 2019.
I can't believe only one match. No way. That's pretty mental.
And it was a draw, so no one's won. So Pac gets the win.
Politics at play. That's why they've only wrestled once. Gotta be.
My only concern is that down south, Ospreay would be the favourite, but people will travel from all over to go to All In. So
I'll be there.
yeah, so I reckon fair enough. Cheering for Pac if this was real. So I reckon that wouldn't be too much of an issue. I think Pac even might be the cheered one because we see him less.
Yeah.
He's not wrestled since March. I don't know
No,
where he
I can't
is.
remember if it. I think I heard that it was visa issues, but I'm not too sure.
Oh. Well, this is in Wembley anyway. so-
Yes.
Well, he's
It's in
not
Wembley.
he's not been spotted in Weatherspoons like he was during his last hiatus.
No.
The 2017 hiatus, he was
Do
spotted
you
in
remember that
Spoons.
time that Sami Zayn randomly just was at Central Station?
Train station.
And
huh?
people thought he might be going to visit Pac.
He probably was.
It was when Pac had just been released as well from WWE, yeah. And just Sammy and a sign underneath it. It's
Pretty cool.
It's pretty cool.
pretty cool.
It's cool.
It's a yes from me. My only thing is that I think that maybe at All In they'll do Ospreay and Kenny and rerun that one. However,
run it back.
I wouldn't be opposed to to a Will Ospreay and Pac tete-a-tete with the international title. So it's a yes from me, Jack.
Yeah, thank you.
I feel like it's fair that I just give it a no because I gave Andrew's international title pitch a no because I've got
So
a
it's
clear,
not what you've
got
okay.
a clear
I've got a
vision.
clear vision.
Well, I'm looking forward
And
to the.
it's so obvious. I've ruined one of my pitches for that all-out video, but there we go. Hopefully forgotten by the time that video
I'm
comes
looking
out.
forward to it. The Forbidden Door.
Really simple. It
No,
involves
sorry.
Pac.
Is it the All In
Is it
or
just Pac
is
wins?
it the All
It's
In?
Pac
It's just
the All
Pac
In
wins,
pitches.
that's it.
Yeah.
Oh right.
Yeah.
Aye.
All right then.
That's my clear vision.
It makes sense though as well. I feel like it is actually going to happen.
Right then. Well, we'll look forward to that.
I like it, but I just
Let's
feel like I
see the
gave Andrew a
pitches
no,
now.
so I've got to give you a no as well.
Okay.
Fair enough. Well, thank you both for being on this pictures video with me, and thank you to you all for watching as well. Why not leave your pictures in the comment section down below? There's loads of content this weekend because it's not just Double or Nothing, which we'll have WTF moments for and reactions for, and what happened at for, but also it's
NXT.
No, it's not. It's not. Well, it is, but it's also
Impact.
Night of Champions. It's WWE Night of Champions as well, which we'll also be doing all those things for too. You'll be on the old reactions for that.
Yep, for the Night of Champions one with Adam. Yep.
And then there'll be two mystery Team AEW presenters on for AEW reactions and predictions and all that sort of stuff.
could
as
it
well.
be?
Who could it be? You'll find out in due course on this very channel. And thank you very much for watching. I've been Jack. This has been Andrew. This has been Ross. And we'll see you. Thank you to Joel as well. Thank you
Thanks,
last
Joel.
time. So I've got to thank you again.
Joel
Thank you.
gets it.
Nail
Yeah.
that thumbnail, Joel.
Thank you,
No
Joel.
pressure.
And we'll see you very soon.